Barstool Pick'em, Week 16, NFL. Good to have you back, Dave. We had Todd Furman on last week. He is a Vegas expert. He actually knows what he's talking about, whereas we don't, but that's okay.
I don't. First of all, I don't believe that.
I was goading you there just to get you upset, but I would love to hear your response.
Well, there's no such thing as Vegas experts. If you're a Vegas expert, you'd be walking around in velvet 24/7 in a chateau in the mountains somewhere that nobody even knew you existed because all you do is win billions gambling, and you wouldn't have to come on podcasts with a strange haircut and give your picks. So there is zero chance he knows more than me. McShay doesn't know more than me. Nobody knows more than me. Anybody who says they know more because they study stats, rhythms, algorithms is lying. I know more than just about anybody because I have eyeballs. Go.
Well, staying on the Vegas expert line of thinking here, do you know that we now have two in-house experts at Barstool? I don't know if you caught wind of the Simon and Dante college basketball money train where they buy points and they don't tell anyone, and sometimes they just post teams and don't say what the line is. It's something else. It's like we've got the whole like old school Brandon Lang like churn and burn club going on underneath your umbrella.
I caught wind of this yesterday at the office. I didn't even know they were talking about the pirate guy, Simon. I didn't know they were talking about our DJ, the Don. I didn't even know Dante and Simon knew each other or still existed in our universe. It was like, what are you guys talking about? The whole office was hanging on porn pirate Simon's pics. It was like, what world am I in right now?
It's the pathological liar who was an intern over the summer and our DJ have joined forces to create a tout team that is going to bring Vegas to their knees.
I literally 10 times in a row, people are like, Simon. I'm like, the guy who was sitting right there? They're like, yeah, it's still, I don't even understand. What do you mean everyone, Simon's giving picks? Like the porn Simon? That guy? I still don't get it. And how does he know Dante?
I don't know. That's a great question.
I think just Twitter.
Yeah.
How did the Vegas guy do?
He killed it. His Bills pick was a great pick. He loved the Bills. He killed it. His whole board was great. He bets for a living. So I don't know.
Who he bets for a living? I was betting for a living. Well, I don't understand what that means. Nobody knows more than Vegas. That's just a fact.
He is Vegas, though. He used to be the lines maker. He used to be the lines maker at Caesars.
You don't think I could be a lines maker?
Well, maybe sometimes. You're a little off sometimes.
I could 1,000% be a lines maker when I'm going.
Let's hop into it. You're still retired because you're in the horse mogul business, so I'm the only one who's bringing up the actual getting dirty in the mud here.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I feel like I have to say something. A lot of people are calling me pussy, this, that. I was betting $5,000 a game. Minimum. That's all. I was betting $5,000 a game. It's disgusting. I was betting 25 games on a Saturday. I had 6 figures going. I had to stop. It had spiraled out of control, and I was waiting to lose everything. That's why I retired. So these people being like, ugh. Trust me, I had to stop.
That's that, and I guarantee the people who are yelling at you to stop probably bet $20 a game.
Yeah. So go. I was losing. I was like, if I had I don't know, an 8-12 weekend, I was losing like 25 grand. It was. I had to stop. Barstool.
We wouldn't be here if you were still gambling.
For the sake of everybody in this company, it had to stop. And I know what people are going to be. Why don't you just tone it down? Why don't you do? That's not how I work. I can never bet a game for less than $5,000 now.
Right. You can't go. Well, it's a progression, and once you every step you take up the ladder, you can't go back down the ladder.
Right.
You just can't get your dick hard for a $5 bet. It's just not possible.
And my problem is once I start betting the board. only answer I had was to buy horses.
I agree. You were in a corner, and the only escape route was to become a horse owner.
Yes. So for all the people calling me a pussy, you don't know the half of it. All right.
All right, let's get it going. I apologize. I guess they brought back Saturday games. We had this discussion.
I was ready to say that. I knew that. Every time I saw that commercial, I was like, Big Cat. Every time I saw it.
Last year, they did not have them. This year, they brought them back. So I apologize. I was wrong on that. So we have 2 games tomorrow. The first game, Eagles, Redskins. Eagles are fighting for their life. Poor Eagles. I mean, they need the Bears to win, and then we throw in Jimmy Clausen. So the Eagles are done. The Eagles are -8, over-unders 50.5. Who do you like?
I'm not betting on that. I'm at the season. I'm not going to bet on bums. I'm taking Philadelphia. Philadelphia's classic. Chip Kelly, by the way, is never going to win a Super Bowl. I almost feel bad for Eagle fans who think he is. He's everything I'd expect from a gimmicky college coach. You can beat the bad teams, get punched in the teeth, and they fall out like chiclets against good teams. But this is a really bad team, so I'm taking Philly.
Yeah, I feel bad for Philly fans as well. I like to be right, but I feel bad that I'm right in this case because I've been saying all season that the Eagles are a fraud team. Whenever they take a step up and play the actually good teams, they get their ass kicked. That clearly has been happening. And I feel bad because I feel like Philly fans, they die for the Eagles. That's all they have. They don't have anything else.
That Philly game, I mean, the Cowboys, the amount of people talking about that, you would thought it was the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that's the Eagles, and I respect Philly fans, but it's sad for them. They go home and I feel like they lose a game like that, and they just walk around Philadelphia kicking like an old rusty can for a month.
I picture all of them and I know they may not love the Silver Linings playbook, but I just picture them all like walking around doing that bird thing in the parking lot.
All right, we agree. I actually kind of like the over in this game too. RG3's back. I don't. He's awful, but who knows? The Redskins aren't playing for anything. He is playing for something, so that's something to look for on the offensive side of the ball. Chargers and Niners. Niners are -1, over-unders 41. The Niners they're out. They're out, and actually this was a pick that Todd Furman gave us last week, which was spot on. He took the team total under 14.5 for the Niners. They haven't scored. They don't score anymore. They just don't score. So who do you like in this one?
I'm not betting against my coach. I'll take the Niners.
You're not getting Harbaugh, so just stop. And stop flip-flopping.
Did you see that video?
Did you see that video that I cut up yesterday that you conveniently just ignored?
No, I didn't. I didn't ignore it. I didn't see
your brain with the Harbaugh argument?
I saw a video today. It was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that video too, but I incepted your brain. I told you on the 17th that Harbaugh's not going anywhere because he wants to win a Super Bowl. You said no, he wants to be the man in Michigan. And then on the 18th, you said Harbaugh's not going to Michigan because he wants to win a Super Bowl. I incepted your brain.
You made a video of that?
Yes. It's like the biggest flip-flop. I incepted your brain. So I don't trust you at all with your Harbaugh stuff anymore. Give me the Chargers. The Niners, I love Harbaugh. He's the golden goose. But when a coach like Harbaugh, when a team like the Niners is out of the playoff pictures and you have a coach like Harbaugh who's yelling at you, those guys don't give a shit. They just want to go home. They want to sit on their money. Vikings at Dolphins. This game's disgusting. You want to give a quick pick?
Two teams that have been murdered, had their lungs ripped out at one time or another by the Patriots. Dolphins fresh off getting their tongues ripped out. I'm going Dolphins, though. They're much better than the Vikings.
I'll take the Vikings. I think the Vikings are actually playing some good football. They're playing better football. They played the Lions really tough last week in Detroit, and there's three different buckets that teams are in right now. Teams that are playing for something, teams that aren't playing for something, and then there's that weird place where teams that aren't playing for something, but they're their arrows pointing up for next year, like the Rams and the Vikings, where they're like, oh, we got to play and finish strong. So I feel like the Vikings are one of those teams. Ravens and Texans. Ravens are -6 over.
I'm back on the Ravens being a threat. I'm on the Ravens.
You agree with me, right? Because I went on for any Minnesota stoolies out there who are listening to this, I went on the Vikings pregame show yesterday. It's going to air next week before the Bears-Vikings game. Why are you looking at me like that?
That makes no, you went on the Vikings pregame show?
Because the Vikings and Bears are playing in Week 17. And they couldn't film it during Christmas week, so we filmed it yesterday.
That just seems so stupid.
Why?
I don't know. What if, Bridgewater dies this
That's
week?
what I said. I was like, what if Clausen lights it up or he gets hurt? They're like, oh, we'll just deal with it. So
you're going to sound like Manzo when he pre-wrote his blog for Derek Jeter's 3,000th hit. And it was like a walk-off grand slam to come back from 30 runs. He went 100 for 100, set 30 records, and Manzo didn't mention any of it.
He was on a fishing boat.
Yeah, he was fishing, and then he got fired the next day. I was waiting for him at his front door when he got off the boat to hand him his pink slip.
I brought it up to him. I was like, you guys realize that a lot can change between now and next week.
I don't know how you didn't understand what I meant when I'm like, that's weird. I've never heard of a pregame show being filmed before, 2 games in advance.
I know.
What channel was this?
What?
What channel is this?
It's on a local channel. It's on the local CBS or ABC or Fox in Minnesota. It's the Vikings produce it.
Feels like maybe not. Maybe it's a guy in a hut in the trees of Minnesota, and you just got mouse trapped.
No, it's a former player and some smoke, and they interviewed me. It was also classic because they got a taste of Barstool. We started the Skype, and we shoot the shit, and they're like, all right, let's go live, and they start the question. The second we start the question, Stella barked louder than any dog has ever barked directly into the microphone. So
that is insane. That is some ghetto shit by the Vikings. Maybe try to act like a professional franchise one time, and maybe then you start winning some games. Holy moly.
Remember, I was supposed to do it in L.A. when we were doing our meeting, so it got pushed to then. All right, let's go to... All right, so we both agree.
I want you to film it before the season starts. I mean, Christ. It makes no sense. It's crazy.
Let's go. We picked the Ravens. We both like the Ravens. I think the Ravens are the dark horse in the AFC playoffs, by the way. They're the one team. If you're the Patriots.
I said that 10 weeks ago.
But. Okay, I did too. I probably incepted your brain on that one too. Lions and Bears. Lions are -9.5. Jimmy Clausen, he's 1-9 career. He's never thrown for over 200 yards in a game. 3 touchdowns, 9 interceptions in his career. He was basically out of the league. He's back. Who do you like in this game?
Lions. If I was betting, I'd be getting rich just betting against the Bears every week.
Yeah, there's a good chance Jimmy Clausen gets murdered in this game. Because the Bears can't block, and then you throw in a guy who doesn't know how to read a defense. I mean, this is going to be. I'm excited actually, which is saying something. I'm excited to watch a Bears game this late in the season right now, even though they're out of it, because I want to see Jimmy Clausen just explode. Browns and Panthers.
Going with football, no doubt. This is going to be a great bounce back week.
+4. You think Johnny Football is going to win this game? The Browns are out of the playoffs now, basically, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You think he's got this game?
You don't hold that guy down 2 weeks in a row. I know that. I'm all on. Listen, I don't know how many times I have to say it. I'm not jumping off the Johnny Football bandwagon. He's got to do better than score 0 points. I think he will.
All right, Falcons Saints.
Who do you take?
Oh, I'm taking the Panthers.
Dumb.
Panthers are actually playing halfway decent football right now.
Who's their quarterback? Derek Anderson?
Cam's back.
He is?
Yeah, he is. He was in practice this week, so I assume that he's going to play. He's practicing. I almost won my Derek Anderson bet last week. They got fucked at the last second. They were up all game by 9 points, and Josh McCown scored a touchdown with like a minute and 45 seconds left to cover the spread. Falcons and Saints. This one's to stay alive in the NFC South. Saints are -6.5. Over/under's 56. Who do you like in this one?
This one's stealing. This is a layup. This is easy. Atlanta.
Woo!
I knew you were on the other side. You're still convinced these Saints.
No. I think 6.5. I think 6.5 points. I agree with you that 6.5 points is too much for the Saints. I wouldn't say it's easy.
Yeah, it's a coin flip. This game's a coin flip. Atlanta could win. This is going to be close. All these teams are garbage. Garbage versus garbage equals garbage. The last time the Saints were a big favorite, I think, was versus Carolina. I gave the same lecture. They lost by a hundo. This is just a garbage game. It should be a pick'em, basically. I love Atlanta.
I will say I like Atlanta as well, and I love the 6.5. It's an inflated number for sure. It should be like 4. But because the Saints played the Bears, and the Bears are awful, and the Falcons lost to the Steelers, who aren't that bad, you have like a disconnect here. I'm taking the Falcons. I don't think it's. I feel like the Saints are probably going to end up winning by a field goal. These games always end in a field goal.
People still have like that, and I know we say every week, like the Katrina game still fucks with people's brains. It's like games in New Orleans and the Dome, Drew Brees, they get like 6 points. No, this is a trash game. The Saints are trash. This pick'em game. Anybody can win. Last possession. I like Atlanta.
Packers -12 against the Bucks at Tampa Bay.
Gotta think Green Bay bounces back in this one, so I'll take the Packers. It's a lot of points, but after last week's debacle, I'm going to jump back on them.
I love the Bucks here. That's too many points. Green Bay on the road is a totally different team. If you look at Aaron Rodgers, hold on, I'm going to pull it up for you right now. What's his rating? 81, 88, 99 in Miami, 93. So he's under 100 basically every time he goes on the road. And then when he's at home, he's like over 120. So he's thrown all his interceptions on the road. He's just not the same quarterback on the road. They're not the same team. Their defense doesn't play the same way. Give me the points. 12 points is too much. Also, I just want to say there's nothing that makes me happier than the fact that the Packers are going to Seattle and going to lose in the NFC Championship game. They're going to lose by 2 touchdowns. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I think it's Seattle, New England.
I have that game circled. I'm going to sit there and smile the whole entire time. Chiefs at Steelers. Steelers -3. Both these teams are sort of in it. Steelers are actually more in it than the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I think, need help. Who do you like in this one?
Chiefs.
Did you see that stat I put in the rewind? That it's been over a year since the Chiefs have scored a touchdown throwing to the wide receiver.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. For an Andy Reid team, too, that loves to pass.
It's unbelievable.
I don't know how you don't get a fluke touchdown at some point.
This game, I just see them being like very similar. So again, I'm gonna just take the points. I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole, but gun to head, it's Kansas City.
All right, I'm opposite with you here. I like the Steelers. I think the Steelers offense.
You like them?
I think the Chiefs can't keep up with the Steelers offense. Where the Steelers, if they get going a little bit, it's not.
You like them, or like you're betting this game?
I probably won't bet this game. I'm saying I like them in the fact that we're picking every game.
Right. Okay.
So moving on, Patriots Jets. How you feeling? 1 to 10 confidence level for the Patriots.
For this game or the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
10.
Okay.
11, 100. I would not book that trip unless I was...
You purchased all of the stuff?
Everything.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Airline tickets. I bought a house for a week. The only thing I don't have is tickets to the actual game. And not only for myself, I had to get it for Hank and sales guy Paul so they could video media day. So 3 airline tickets, to and from, in a house in Scottsdale for the week, booked, non-refundable. So, yeah, that's my confidence level. That's where I'm at.
All right, so are you taking the Patriots?
Yeah, I mean, this game, the Jets are going to play their dicks off for Rex this game. but they stink and we're awesome. So I don't know that it'll be enough for them to stay within the 10. Is Edelman playing?
I think so. I think practice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games. I feel like I haven't said this for the last 2 months. I've been Patriots page because they've been playing a tough schedule, low point spreads. They'll murder the Jets, but 10.5 is a lot, and the Jets do have some degree of weird pride. But the Patriots defense is so good that it's not going to be enough. So yeah, I'd take the Patriots.
I kind of like the under in this game, actually. I think the 46.5 is a little too high because I agree with you that the Jets' offense is going to be a train wreck. Did you see that report about Rex joining the Patriots?
Yeah.
That would honestly, I talked to Kevin on G-Chat, all bullshit aside, out of the blog world, out of the Twitter world, he said that he would probably quit football.
Yeah, you have to. I don't see any. I heard that for the first time yesterday. The guy who tweeted it's like a legitimate guy. So, but I agree with what he wrote in his blog, which is I don't think Rex would do that to Jets fans or himself. But if he did, yeah, I mean, quit football. You may have to kill yourself.
Yeah, he honestly, I said at least you get a nice blog, story out of it, how you quit football for a year or whatever, however long he quits football. Giants and Rams, kind of a gross game. Rams -6.5 at home. They've been okay at home. Who do you like?
I'm doing what? I mean, you gotta love the Rams. Gotta love the Rams. I love the Rams.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, the Rams have been playing. The Rams are one of those teams that, I feel like if they got in the playoffs, could actually scare people.
Look, go back and look at Jeff Fisher's career. He's been in the league for 20 years. Okay, 20 years he's been a coach. He's made the playoffs. He's had a team over 500, I think, 6 times. He has so many 8-8 seasons. Jeff Fisher is the king of the dangerous up-and-coming 8-8 team. That's his MO. He always has this team. That's what he does. So that's what the Rams are. They're the dangerous. Next year they'll be they go 8-8. Next year they're going to be great. And then the same thing's going to happen. They're going to start bad. They're going to finish strong. Next year they're going to be great. It's forever for Jeff Fisher. All right. Moving on, my Bills. I'm a member of Bills Mafia. I don't know if you know that. The Bills are -7 against the Raiders, playing for their playoff lives. I might actually have to go to Buffalo for a playoff game if they make it.
What are you doing, Hank?
Hey, just walking.
It wasn't.
What do you want?
Just a couple of you on the way back.
Oakland keeps this game close.
I agree. Just because, as a Bills fan, and I've watched a lot of them this year, just one game, Kyle Orton and their offense, they just throw it under. I can't tell you how many times they're in 2nd and 13 and throw a 6-yard pass.
Do the Bills have to win out to get in the playoffs?
I think so.
Then they have no chance to get in the playoffs.
Well, it depends. No, because because you're saying, but it won't the Patriots sit their starters?
No, because they got a home field advantage. They lose, the Broncos have home field advantage.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Although the Broncos might lose this weekend, or on Monday. We'll get to that game in a second. So the Bills have to win out. I think they're gonna win this game. But
Belichick doesn't rest anybody. People get murdered every year in the last game of the season.
Will probably get hurt. He'll probably sprain an ankle.
I wouldn't play Gronk till the second half of the AFC Championship game.
Till the Super Bowl.
Second half of the AFC Championship game, only if it's a 14-point game or less.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Don't bring Gronk until you're trailing in the Super Bowl.
That play has been. I've been meaning to blog it against the Giants when the linebacker, that no-name linebacker, Brady threw a ball down the middle, and the linebacker for the Giants picked it off and man-on-man coverage with Gronk. It's a guy who was like not even in the league because Gronk had one leg. Like if that happened with a healthy Gronk inhales the ball, takes that guy in the palm of his hand, throws him into the third row, and runs for a touchdown, and the helmet catch never happens. Anyways, I digress. Go on.
Colts Cowboys.
What are you looking at? Different games?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Cowboys -3.5. Over/unders 55.5. Cowboys are looking like they're going to be in the playoffs after they were deemed the worst team in the league after week 1. Who do you like in this game?
I like Andrew Luck. I'm on his side. I think he's eventually going to be the best quarterback in the league. He'd be my number 1 pick if I was starting a franchise. If we just look at what he does, he's very overrated. That guy makes more mistakes every single week than like anybody else in the league. He throws horrible interceptions. Horrible.
He does throw some bad interceptions, and
lots.
I will say that he fumbles the ball a lot too. I think he leads the league in fumbles. I think the problem Andrew Luck has, he has a little bit of a Ben Roethlisberger mentality where the play's never dead in his mind. So he'll run around, he'll get hit, he'll be like on the way down throwing balls, he'll hold on to balls till the last possible second. He is not afraid of getting hit. He stays in the pocket till like the last second.
Yeah, but Roth, what?
Hold on 1 sec. I got to get my dog to the... Come on.
For this game, I'm going to... Tough one. I don't like the Colts on the road, so I'm going to take the Cowboys, even though I don't really like the Cowboys at home. But I think it'll be a fairly close game. Tough game. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. But I wouldn't bet this. The over is huge, too. Tough game. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I hate everything about this game, though.
The Colts do play fast. The over-under...
Remember that when I told you to take that under in the Colts game, it came in.
Which one?
At...
Was it Cleveland?
Yes.
Yeah, it came in by 1 point. And
one or a million, it came in.
Yeah, it came in by 1 point. If you watch that game, it was that dropped 2-point conversion that did it. That was a killer. I remember it. I was in Vegas that weekend. All right, Seahawks, Cardinals. Cardinals I was wrong. A few weeks ago, I said they weren't going to make the playoffs. They won that big game against Kansas City on that questionable fumble, and that kind of vaulted them into making the playoffs. And they're gonna. This is for home field advantage, right? Yeah, this is for home field advantage. So real big game. Who do you like in this one? Seahawks are -9.
It's insane. It's because the quarterback, right? They don't have a quarterback.
They don't have a quarterback. They have, and I don't understand. How do you not bring? Who's out there that they could start? I feel like there's got to be a guy, right?
You mean who's not in the league?
Yeah. I still think Tebow. I know he's not good, but if you're telling me Logan Thomas versus Tim Tebow, I would take Tim Tebow, wouldn't you?
Logan Thomas is horrible. But Logan Thomas isn't starting, is he?
No, it's the Ryan Lindley guy or whatever. The guy who was selling Bibles during the game on Thursday night before he got in.
Trying to think now of quarterbacks not in the league. Well, I mean, you guys have Clausen, so there can't be that many guys floating around.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Arizona.
Did you actually hear, speaking of that, did you hear Kurt Warner was like, oh, I was thinking about it. Like,
was he serious?
Yeah. He was like, the thought crossed my mind. I was like, Kurt Warner, you're like 50, dude. He hasn't played in forever. I think it would be great. I would love it. It would be so much fun to watch, but that's absurd.
I'm just going 7-0 at home. I think the Seahawks won't be that motivated because they think they're going to kill him because it's like the Bible salesman or whatever. I think Seattle. I think Arizona could keep this close on defense. I'll take the points.
Yeah, I'm going to take the points too, just for that reason. The defense of the Cardinals will be able to keep this close because what this game's going to come down to is the Cardinals are going to be able to keep the Seahawks to field goals.
The Seahawks will willingly, I feel like, just play field position and like keep pinning them in and slowly eviscerate them.
The Seahawks have no problem winning this game like 12-6.
Yep.
All right, last game of the week, Broncos and Bengals. Broncos minus 3.5. This is classic Bengals. We've talked about this. When the Bengals get in a primetime situation, they do Bengals things.
And I think they'll still do it. So I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think we're headed to a titanic AFC title game and a titanic collapse of Peyton Manning in the cold weather in Gillette with the wind and Belichick swirling. Broncos will win out. Patriots win out. They meet. It's the game of the century. Patriots win, and I'm on a flight to Scottsdale the next day.
So you think the Broncos have no chance against the Patriots in the playoffs?
0. I would much rather play them than the Ravens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Broncos. There's a dirty little secret, and people who haven't been paying attention. Peyton Manning, he's got no arm strength whatsoever anymore, and it's not even like last year where he was throwing ducks. They're not throwing the ball anymore. They're not, and I know that actually might be better in a cold situation where they can run the ball and play more of a power offense. But at some point, Peyton Manning's going to have to throw the ball, and he can't do it. His listen to this. His last 4 games. I mean, this is not Peyton Manning. 257 yards, 179 yards, 173 yards, 233 yards. That's not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, you used to be able to just write him in for over 300 yards every week.
They are a different team, though. They have a better defense. They can run the ball a little bit. I mean, both the Patriots and the Broncos are a little bit different, to be honest. I mean, the Patriots aren't an offensive team either. But our defense, Hank, nails.
Yeah, your defense is something else. So I'll give you that. Your defense is, I don't know how. It's not even you can run on the Patriots. You just can't pass on them whatsoever.
It doesn't change. It's the Seahawks. If you can lock down wide receivers, you can one-dimensionalize everybody in it just as a total game changer. Especially, Browner's going to have a couple major penalties in the playoffs that will make me pull my hair out. But I love this team, and I can't wait. I can't wait for a week of fun in the sun.
All right, so let's go to Mortal Locks. Who do you like?
It's a great question. I think...
Oh, you got yours, or are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I got it. I'm going to go with Atlanta.
Okay. I like it. Hank?
I like the Chargers.
Chargers on Saturday night. Okay.
+1, yeah.
I actually just talked myself into this, even though you point blank asked me if I was going to bet this game. But I like the Steelers -3.
All right, there you have it. You got anything for the college game tomorrow?
I got one pick for the college games. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I like Air Force.
Air Force, what's their line?
They're 1 against who the fuck they playing? Western Michigan. 5:45, the Idaho Potato Bowl.
I love the first bowl games. They're such a degenerate thing to watch and to get into.
How about 11 a.m. Nevada UL Lafayette?
That's the one I like. I like the over in that game. Give me the over in that game. So we'll do a podcast on when do the other games start? So they start Monday. So Tuesday we'll do a podcast and we'll basically get us through the New Year's, and then we'll obviously break down the actual bowl playoff. All right, yeah, so give me the over in that Nevada-Louisiana Lafayette game, bright and early in the morning. Where is that? It's in New Orleans, so that's not that bad. But, yeah, I love those first games. The Boise game when Boise's not playing and no one gives a fuck and it's 2 degrees and it's on the blue turf.
Yeah, that's what I got, right?
Yeah, that's the Air Force, Western Michigan. You like Air Force in that game?
Love them.
Oh, I like Western Michigan.
No.
You want to do a little Mortal Lock-Off?
Sure, I'll Mortal Lock all that off.
All right, so that's our college football mortal locks. Hank, do you have a mortal lock?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, so we're gonna
also for sports fans at home. I have 20% ownership stake in Roman Approval running in the Florida Derby or Florida Sunshine Stakes or some weird, not the Florida Derby, some $75,000 race, Gulfstream Saturday. I'd go, but I have a Hanukkah party and I can't be skipping that. Because that would be a bad look.
HJIC.
Yeah.
You're not going to watch your horse race?
No, I would have gone to the track in Florida.
Gotcha. So are you going to like pop it out during the Hanukkah party, like on the TV?
Watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna become a Hanukkah horse party.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up right now. Young Hank, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it up. I'll tweet out. His name's Roman Approval. I won't be in the book. I was trying to get my name in the book, but it could get fingerprinted, and I didn't have time to do that. But Gulfstream tomorrow, Roman Approval, 20% ownership stake in him I have.
Got it. Love it. All right, that's it for the show. We will do another one next week for the college football bowls.